And now from Fox 55 News, this is your local sports.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Well, winning at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is a big deal for any race car driver, let alone a 16-year-old. And that's exactly what this kid from Angola accomplished just a couple weeks ago. His name is Zeb Wise. That win at IMS, it wasn't his first, and it certainly won't be his last. Peter Hood has the story.
A star is being born in the USAC National Midget Ranks. The 15-year-old from Angola, Indiana.
Staying humble is definitely, it's hard for me right now, honestly, because of all the things being thrown at me. But, I try to bet my best to just stay focused on, moving on to the next race and doing what I can do at that race. You have to throw all that stuff behind you because, you don't want your head to get too big. And then when that starts happening, then other things start happening. So you gotta stay focused on what you're doing and move on to the next one.
Wise beyond his years. Even though he just recently got his license, Zeb Wise has been driving competitively for over a decade.
Zeb, what do you like about this racetrack?
It's really easy to run your line.
He lost his first race by just a tire length at 5 years old, but ever since then, all Wise has done is win.
And I think I really noticed that I could make a career out of it probably when I was 12, 13 years old. I started getting, racing against professionals that do it for a living. And when you start beating the guys that do it for a living, you realize, hey, I might be able to do this too.
And that's when the racing world began to take notice. Three-time USAC champion Brian Clausen and his dad Tim liked what they saw from Wise at an early age. So much so that by October of 2016, Wise was driving for Clausen Marshall Racing. And less than 2 years later, he became the youngest winner in USAC history at just 15 years old.
Zeb Wise, first ever national win here tonight in Pennsylvania.
Ironically, when I became the youngest USAC national winner, the record that I broke was actually Brian Clausen's. So he had owned that record before mine. So it was kind of humbling for me.
That was the first of many professional wins in Wise's career. The biggest to date came just a couple weeks ago at Indianapolis Motor Speedway when Wise took his 39 BC machine to victory lane in a race that honors Brian's legacy.
That was one that when we put on the schedule, that was the one we wanted to win. For so many reasons. Being the BC 39, me being in the 39 BC, that's a big deal. And me being Brian's last development driver pick.
To win an IMS, your picture is up at the Speedway right now. What's that mean to you?
It's extremely humbling. You see your face and your name up against there next to guys like Brad Keselowski, Simon Pagenaud, who just won the Indy 500. It's crazy. At the time, I was speechless. I didn't even know what to say.
When you think about your future in racing, what kind of things come to mind?
The first thing that's always come to my mind since I was 5 or 6 years old was dirt racing. I've always wanted to race wing sprint cars on the World of Outlaw Tour, full time for a living. So that's one thing. And then, obviously Indy 500 for a dirt racer is huge. That's one thing they want to do too, and that's what I want to do. And I just want to be able to do what I do and be able to make a living doing it. And that's kind of the biggest thing for me.